I will quickly go over what we did. Yeah. So you've seen that you've seen two things. Another type of object, visual effect. Here I have two visual effects. This visualization thing and like this big cube, and those particles. The particles we'll also use later in the scientific track, where the scan you get from Polycam can be converted to points in space, and you would visualize those points in a similar fashion as we did those, but instead of setting their positions using some predefined algorithm, you actually read the positions from the file. But in this case, we've used a visual effect to create a graph. And the visual effect graph is a way to program so-called shaders. Shaders are small programs that are being run directly on your video card instead of on the CPU. That means for a lot of operations, they are much faster. But also the programming language is very low level and, like, I would say difficult to grasp even for some experienced programmers. That's why here we opted for the graph representation of the program. But yes, that's again some new way to think about programs, new way to use programs. So instead of writing commands on lines, you connect those nodes, and the connections between the nodes represent kind of the flow of data to this program. And the graph has some mandatory parts, and the mandatory part is basically this basic pipeline, which first spawns some virtual particles, because the VFX graph operates on virtual particles on some points in space with some other predefined properties or like changeable properties. So first you create those particles, that puts them somewhere in the memory of your video card. Then you initialize them with some initial properties. This initialize block is an equivalent of the start function, basically. And so it's only run at the beginning, at the start of the effect. And then at each frame, you update the particles, so you can again change their position, color, or whatever. And either you can also and then with those updated particles, you go to show them on screen, to render them. There are many operations that can be done in any of these blocks, but remember that whatever you change in this block is only done once at the beginning, and if you want to change something while the program is running, you do it either here in update particle or here in output particle. And to run some algorithms to change those parameters instead of just like setting some hard-coded numbers, you can either use some predefined blocks which already have the functionality like pre-made by the Unity developers, or you can write your own algorithms using this graph node system here, and then connect the results of your algorithms to uh, to the blocks that set the properties that we want to modify. And I've shown some basic nodes and a couple of small tricks. So random number generator, that's useful in many different contexts. Very often, both for like art projects and the scientific projects. Sometimes when things are like perfectly aligned and like pixel perfect aligned, then it can lead to some unnatural feeling of how what the scene looks like. So sometimes you want to slightly randomize some parameters so that the things are not perfectly aligned, because then you will see that later that it can lead to this the perfect alignment could lead to some unwanted visual effects. Then basic arithmetics like multiplication and importantly reading variables not hard-coded in the graph, but exposing them to the Unity editor. Uh, like for that, we use this so-called breadboard, which can be turned off and on like this. And on the breadboard, we define variables that can then be shown in the inspector window. In the inspector window, like this. With the boxes graph, there was some other features. This was, so first you remember we did this subgraph thing. So we had some more or less complicated algorithm, which we want to reuse or we want to hide it because it's a function that has some defined inputs and outputs and does one thing. So that we converted to subgraph. We can look at the subgraph. The subgraph is basically just a part of this visual effects graph. Technically, this is a piece of a compute shader. One thing about compute shaders, for those interested in details, in order to use a compute shader, you need certain level of graphics driver. So nowadays, even most mobile devices support those compute shaders. But for example, WebGL, so like OpenGL implementation in a web browser, does not support these. So what we do here, like you cannot use a VFX graph in project for WebGL. It will just like not work in the sense like everything else will work, but the VFX graph will not be shown there at all. There's a new standard for web browsers called WebGPU, which does support compute shaders, and Unity should support. Unity already has some experimental support for some features. I don't think the VFX graph works, or at least maybe on some very primitive prototype level. And there's also some missing support from the web browser vendors, but hopefully by the end of the year, it should be already possible to also have projects with VFX graph running inside a web browser, which is cool because then you can really do like multi-platform projects where the same thing will work on the computer, like installed from like an exe file or something. You can also run it as a mobile app, and you can also provide it via a web browser, just like uploading it on some web server, and then basically everyone with a updated web browser can see it the way you want it. So yeah, that's subgraph. And this last graph, what was it doing again? So since our input data, as you hopefully remember, is composed of numbers which represent a 3D grid, and we don't have explicitly specified the coordinates for the individual cells of that grid, and instead we know what the coordinates are. We can easily calculate them because we know it's just a box, a Cartesian grid. So what we need to do, and we know the size of that grid, because that's yeah, okay. Two things at once. So we know the size of the original grid, of course, that's what we converted to this 3D texture. And we can see it here. So this is our full data set, 80 by 80 by 80 numbers. This is not a huge data set, but of course, you can have much bigger data sets. And if the data set is too large, then it won't be possible for even for a very fast computer to visualize it the way we've chosen to visualize it here. So what we want to do is to sample from the data set in such a way that we don't take every cell, but something like every 10th cell or something like that. And so we first choose the number of cells we want to have displayed. That's what we define here. And then we only look into the texture for the cells that are close to the coordinates that we've chosen to display. So we know exactly how many cells we will be using. That we can calculate and put here into the count variable that tells us how many particles are we spawning. Then there's this unfortunate hard-coded value, which tells us the maximum size of the system that this graph could handle. Maybe in future, it will be possible to at least have the same graph initialized with different number here. But for now, like when you make a graph, this number is set, and if you change it, it changes it in the graph file. So even if you would use it many times for different objects, this number will always be the same. So you put something, if you know you will be using multiple graphs. So for example, if you want to display 2 or 3 of these boxes, but each would be a different size, then still the capacity here has to be the same. So you have to choose it such that your computer can handle it, and that it can cover the biggest data set you actually want to visualize using the graph. So then after we've spawned the particles, we need to put them in the place in the 3D grid. And for that, we've used this index to UVW subgraph, which as an input gets the total number of cells we want to use and the ID of the particle. Each of the particles gets a unique number from 0 to the number of the total number of particles. And using that modular division algorithm, we change that linear index into 3 indices along each of the axes, put the cells in their correct position. Then we scale the individual cells. This scaling just makes sure that they are exactly so that they are just exactly touching at the edges, because we calculate it as the 1 over the number of cells in one direction. That also means that our output box will be exactly the size of the full box will be exactly 1 meter, and we can then of course scale it here in the inspector if we want to have it bigger, like 50 meter box here. One small thing. I said 1 meter. It doesn't really matter if you're just viewing your project on the computer screen, because then like 1 meter is not really 1 meter. It depends on how big your monitor is. But when we will be using the VR headset, then this 1 meter will really be a representation of 1 meter. So the sizes in Unity are specified in meters, and it really works that way with a VR headset or some augmented reality applications you can create on a phone, etc. So we set the sizes, and then we map the colors. That's this basically the visualization part, where we take the data which we have converted to a texture before. So as an input, we take a 3D texture, and from that texture, we are sampling. That means we look into we get the in-texture coordinates of our cell, look into the texture, take the value that's there, and use that value to change the color of our cell. Now we need to know what's in the texture, and because we've created the texture ourselves or using the script I will show later, we know that the texture only has one number, a single number, the value that was stored there in the cube file. It's some electric potential, if I'm not mistaken. And that value, okay, here we're directly using it to set the transparency of our cell. So cells which have 0 value will not be visible at all, and the bigger the electric potential there, the more opaque, the less transparent the cell is. And here, because from a single number, normally we would only have one single color, we convert this single number to a color map. This again was open subgraph. This again is some subgraph implementing some algorithm which I found something like color map algorithm, and oh oh it's fun. Yes, probably it was something like this. You find the algorithm, you have it written down as normal in a normal programming language, and then you just have to convert this idea to it wasn't in the cases. It was something which use minimum, maximum values, but you convert that algorithm to the graph. So I can later maybe take a look at what exact algorithm I've used. But the important thing here is that our input is a single number, and then through some modifications, I here get three different numbers out of it, save those three numbers in a vector, then do some normalization of the vector so that the components are between 0 and 1, and the output is 3D vector with defining a color. And when we put all that together, and at the end, of course, we render the computational particles as meshes. The shape of the mesh is a cube, and we use plain white texture for the cube so that which then is modified by the color we've set here. Yeah, okay. Wait. I disable the notifications. Notifications. No. Okay. So, any questions about this thing?
Can you please show like the main vehicles graph once again?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can send it over Telegram. Okay, so what do I can say what do we do with data?
With what?
With data.
With data?
Yeah, so it's sample.
This is sample texture 3D. That's the
texture 3D.
Oh, you weren't here at the end. I can send you the completed graph if you want.
Okay.
Um, mm, okay, so now we'll go here to the cube files example. And I'll just show again what the cube file looks like. So first, it contains a header which tells you how many atoms are in the cube file. Then how many cells are in the volumetric part of the cube file. Then it lists the atoms. We will do something with the atoms later. For the atom, there's two parameters and a position of the atom, X, Y, Z. And then it has the volumetric data here. So now we are working with the volumetric data, and you see that it's a text file, but in Unity we need to convert it to a texture, which is a binary file in a special format that's easily readable.
I don't think it's the right way to do
Hmm?
I don't think it's the right way to do It's
Yeah.
Please open it. Optimized. It's fairly empty and definitely.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Uh,
Um, okay. You can redo it later.
okay.
Let's thinking how that's weird, but um,
Yeah, you can.
yes. Okay, so mm, here.
You can actually paste it into a screenshot in Telegram right now, and then do the next one and like paste it. Telegram will group them.
Okay, okay, okay.
That's
So
the
I
easiest way.
just paste it like this.
Yes, and do the next one, paste that, and send
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Hey, here you go. I should have sent it without compression, right? Or like, can you read it? It's kind of blurry, but yeah, okay. Mm. Okay, so we need to convert the text file into this texture file. And for that, I've written a script which is in the cubefiles.zip. So if you unzip it, then you get this cube files folder, and the cube files folder will have a bunch of scripts and a subfolder called editor. So take that folder and drag and drop it to your project. You should import it, recompile.
Project S.
Yes, yes, into assets. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry. And you'll see that the script is kind of long. And there's two important scripts here. One is Cube Manager script. That's the main script that also that reads the cube files uh, saved in somewhere on our computer. No, no, no. This already reads the textures, and from the textures, it can exchange the source texture in your exchange the source texture in your VFX graph, so you can kind of get an animation like a frame by frame animation if you have multiple textures available. And it's called just Cube Manager, so you can create a new object called Cube Manager here, drop it here, and if you would look into if you would look into the source code, you will find these variables here. So we have a like data set name, volume render to textures, some frame step parameter, and some other parameters which end with loop number.
I'm sorry, are there any
Yeah.
ways to add these files to assets in a folder without if just simply dragging them doesn't work?
Then you need to find the location of okay, you can right click on assets and show in Explorer. It will show you the project file, and you can directly copy it into the assets folder.
We should copy the entire cube files folder to there.
In assets. Yeah. So well, like there's this bunch of folders that make up your project, and if you copy something into assets and then go back to Unity, it will find that you've put some new files there and start importing them.
Yes,
Create
this
the
works.
empty object or the cube.
This I put on the empty object.
Well,
I create a new empty object, and from the cube files, I just get this cube manager script. Okay. So again, take these scripts as examples if you would ever want to do what I will now show that they do. Because as you've seen, the script is long. I will not go through the whole thing. Yeah. But what I wanted to show here is that you see that the last public variable here is called loop number. The rest is private variables, so they are not shown in the inspector. But if you go to the inspector, loop number is here, and there's 3 more variables: import path, something like limit number of files, step of important files. Where are those coming from? If you look into the cube files folder, there's another folder called editor, and you will find a cube manager editor script there. And if you open it, you will see that there's a class which is maybe you've noticed, I didn't explicitly say it, but all the Unity classes that add some Unity behavior are derived from this mono behavior parent class. And you see that the editor is not derived from mono behavior but from editor, but here it somehow says that it's a custom editor of the cube manager type. Without going into much details, you probably guessed that this file adds some behavior not to the object itself in the game, but to the editor. And what this is doing is this is a script to import the files. So so this is something we can use here. We can add buttons and do something inside the editor before the game before we run the game. And so you see some import path, some parameters, some additional parameters. Then it needs to know about the cube manager, and it also defines a button somewhere. Yes, here it defines a button, and when I click the button, it runs the function called import files. And yes, I will not go through the import script, just that you know that it somehow gets all the files from a directory, and for each of the files, it reads the header so that it gets the data of the size of the domain, the data of the number of atoms that are in the file, the size of the individual axis. You see that this corresponds to the structure of the cube file, number of atoms, and individual access, and then it will read import. Then it will read the atoms. So for each of the atoms, from 0 to the number of atoms, it reads one line of the file and then saves the position of the atom, which is a 3D vector, saves it as a color. Why is that? Because textures are things that are defined as pictures with colors. So if you want to save a number in there, what you're really saving there is the color. But it's easy to convert a number to a color, because color in computer's memory is just a number, or like 3 numbers in this case. And 3 numbers is good because 3 numbers for a color can be reused as 3 numbers of a position. But you remember that the color is defined from 0 to 1. So you also need to scale those positions to be between 0 and 1. That's what this line is doing. Okay. So it puts 3 parameters, actually 4, the alpha channel as well. We can use the alpha channel for some additional information. But these 3 are XYZ coordinates divided by the size of the domain in those coordinates. So we get a number between 0 and 1 and save that number into a texture in the form of color. So if you have data, your own data, and you want to put it as a source for the unity graph, which can read textures, then in order to convert your data to a texture, you need to know the size of the data. I mean, like the maximum and minimum value that your data point can have, so that you can scale that value to a number between 0 and 1. And when you scale it to a number between 0 and 1, you can then save that number as one of the color components. And in a texture, and then save that as a texture, and that's the thing that you then use as source for your for the VFX graph. So this was the positions, the atom positions, which are stored as texture. I will show. I will later show what the resulting texture for positions looks like. And then there's this volumetric data where we again where we go over the 3 axes and store the values in again store the values as colors. So here I for some reason create a temporary array which I then convert to colors. That's just implementation details. You can see here that I'm like creating a color from the value at the specified coordinates, and I'm only using a single channel because I only have a single number. So my color is just values of red, and the other 2 colors, 2 channels are empty. And yeah, then I create the texture file and save it as a texture file. Yeah. So if you want to, if you have like a completely custom data format, you can either go through this script, look how it works, and implement your own script that will do the conversion. Or if your data is in the form of positions and some additional values, or if your data is a volumetric box, 3D matrix or 2D matrix, 1D matrix, you can first convert it to something to the cube format, basically, using Python script, or like with some data, you can even do this basically in Excel. So we just like copy our data to Excel and save it as a CSV, but use spaces as separators for the cells, and manually modify the header. That's just like you create those 4 files, and then you can use those the import script I've shown you to directly import the data. Yeah. So now we can try the import script. One thing I kind of forgot. I know the import scripts are like not perfect, are not very user friendly. So some stuff has to be like very specifically defined. And honestly, I kind of forgot what were all the issues with the scripts. So I will try it now. If it doesn't work, I won't spend much time on it. And if you're interested, I can then help you via Telegram if you would really want to try it by yourself. So the first thing is the source files must be outside the Unity project. So we've downloaded the source files. This cube files example, the cube files example, and just to make sure, I don't know how well it works with spaces in the path. So, okay, this, okay, here. This path, fortunately, has no spaces. I'll just try it like this. Copy the import path here. And
Has to be outside of the project folder. Yeah, or no?
Outside of the Unity project folder. So don't put those cube files, the source files. Don't put them in the Unity folder, because then Unity will try to import them, and the whole thing gets very confusing then. So I just put the import path here. I mean, just to be sure, make sure there are no spaces in any of the any of the directory names. Maybe it would work, maybe it won't. I'm just like, and click import files and hope no. This is weird. Okay, so don't do it yet. Apparently, it doesn't work. I think it yes. So parent directory must okay. So you see, that's the usability of software in general. What I forgot in my script is one more thing. Big files, like for example, big texture files, are best saved in a special folder in Unity, and that special folder has to be called resources. It's some hard-coded thing in Unity. There are other ways to do it, but the other ways are like super complicated compared to just creating a folder that is called resources. And Unity treats this resources folder in a special way. When you compile your project and export it. The thing is that, for example, if you have those like many volume files and texture files, if those files are not tied to one of your objects in the inspector, but you use a script to put them on the object during runtime, then Unity doesn't see them as part of the project. And when you then build the project and want to distribute it to the users, the files will be missing. But if whatever you put in the resources folder will always be included with the resulting project. So my script just assumed that the resources folder already exists, but it didn't, because I already clicked the import thing and I don't have this clean exit. It still think it's importing. I have to kill Unity and restart it. This is not a Unity issue. It's an issue of me being a bit lazy when I was programming the thing, and I didn't have time to catch all the bugs. And also, I made these scripts for originally for like some PR event for a general public called Long Night of Sciences. And after it was done, hey, it worked. I modified them a little bit for the workshops here, but like to do it properly would take a lot of time and a lot of testing. So, okay, I hope this was the only error I got there. So now I have the resources folder. I go to the Cube Manager. You see that the import part was reset to the default value. That's one thing I still don't know how to solve. So I copy my path again. To get here, if you don't know, it's with Control L. Now I can Control-C, Control-V, import files, and hope. Yes. And after the script runs, you will find that here in resources, you have a new folder called Texture 3D, Melting Beryllium, and this has a bunch of new textures. So you see the volume textures similar to the one we imported explicitly earlier.
So what did we do to create this folder?
And yeah, so you have to manually create a folder called resources inside your assets folder. I mean, like I can start writing down a list of bugs, and for next year to like fix them in the.
It will automatically import after that, yeah? It will automatically import after the.
So create a resource folder which is called resources. Then go to the object that has the cube manager. Find the path to where your cube files are located. Copy that path and put it here into import path and click import files. And hopefully that should work. So
Whenever recognize escape sequence in the line where I'm importing the
wait. I'll just.
maybe you have space bars in the yeah. Can you copy it and check if this is the correct path? It is the correct path.
Successfully.
Yeah, let's double check those.
If it's imported successfully, what should be?
Yeah, the result will be inside resources. You will have this texture 3D, melting beryllium, and the volume files, and a bunch of other files as well. Yeah, so I wanted to write down. Yeah.
We should have changed. The error is that it looks like the wrong address, but this one, see, does it have to change the slashes to
Double slashes. Yeah.
like
No.
in
Double backslashes.
Yes.
If you want to have it here.
Yes.
But I mean, you don't need to edit the default one. You can put it in there in the inspector. But yeah, if you're here, you need double slashes.
That was the first.
You didn't put the import path here. You still have the default one, which is from my computer. And it still did that. Okay. Let me try. Wait. Where were the source files? No. Okay, you need the other zip file. I think. Because this is the source code, but you need no. This cube files examples. This one. Yes. Yeah. Go here. Yeah. And this is the path that we should take. But maybe better restart Unity as well, and try it with this one.
Jiří, we accidentally used the wrong folder. How to stop importing? That's right.
No. Kill Unity and start.
Kill the whole Unity?
Yes. Sorry. I don't know how it should be done properly, but.
I mean, you can make.
Maybe
try several times.
No. You can try another thing. Just
Save?
Yes, save,
Save.
save and start it again. Maybe if you put it here,
Okay.
I don't know, just like try it again, maybe it will replace this
Hmm.
window, but maybe then you will go, I don't know.
Okay.
It's important about the folder with lots of views and
It's empty. That means that there were no files in the file. That's weird.
I had that one that for maybe you just open the folder and then
take it. Are you sure you do the right folder? Oh, sorry. Go into the example folder again. Yeah. This one, this is the folder that you should put there. Yeah, because when Windows unzips the folder, it will give you one more on top of it.
and I should do
With
it.
files, but without the back files.
Oh, I think it will. I mean, okay, delete this and try again, just to be sure. I mean, we should be able to handle. Well, yeah, you got it right. Yes. Yes.
No,
Still no.
there is no error, but there are three files in the research folder.
No.
Yeah, I tried changing import double flashes. It also doesn't
Hey, go to show me the folder.
Hopefully it will start changing some parts to the next one. Or no, it's not.
Okay, so show me how.
Failed. Okay. Awesome.
Go to the inspection.
Closing it again.
Okay, import.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
see. Well, that's me. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, this works. Wait,
Yes.
resources, texture, it creates a folder texture PD.
It might be that
Yes.
it's by user.
Yeah.
It's made, there was a mistake also when we selected the correct folder. Do we need to provide the correct numbers, like the number of?
No. This folder rest from the file. So it's.
Yeah, we used the directory, but then
Yeah.
it still didn't work.
Okay. So
there's
me,
nothing extra.
import file.
Are you sure you don't need to change limit number of file?
No, just import files.
It will be, well, not error, it will just get stuck.
Created as
Wow. I go resources.
Ah.
C.
Yeah, yes. So kill it. Because it will stop. Yes, variant from shotgun. Просто на меню. Ні, я згодна, воно має бути там source.
I'll try something while okay, so I will try if the animation works out of the box. If you open the Cube Manager, you see there's this volume render texture and position render texture variables. What the script does is that it will go to your resources folder, find the data set, and this file info, okay, it's a JSON file. Unfortunately, it's like without Okay, so we can find the open embrace and replace it with a new line and open embrace.
I think it just enter in Visual Studio Code. You can just type enter.
Can I? There should be some option to interpret the.
I think it just enter. It's just like a new line.
No. I tried.
No?
No.
No. I was 100% sure that
No. No. Damn. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's a JSON file, and the JSON file is here to describe my the metadata for the texture files. That's because the texture file doesn't have any metadata. It's really just pure binary data for the GPU, nothing else. And so what the script does is it opens the JSON file, and from the JSON file reads some IDs, the file names and stuff like this, and it can put and then it can animate, kind of animate.
I'm sorry, it's Shift Enter.
Shift Enter. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Replace all. Oh, okay. So we also replace like this. Yeah, okay. I mean, manually replacing JSON files is very blaming. So here it tells me I have 10 files and they have some IDs, and these are the file names. And I always have the volume file and the position file. We'll get to the position file later. And the normalization, because like I said, the numbers of the colors are between 0 and 1. So here I scale them to original number. Yeah, because science needs exact numbers. And the script will then read this file and can exchange the texture that is being used in the visual effect. And that if those textures are not too large, then this gives you kind of like a smooth animation. If they are too large, it will, so that they won't fit on the GPU, then with each texture replacing, it will need to read the texture file from your hard drive and put it on the GPU. And that's like an extremely slow operation compared to whatever lives on the GPU. But we've tested it on files of the size of approximately 1 gigabyte each, which is kind of large. And if you have a fast SSD disk, then this is still doable for a pretty nice frame rate. But of course, yeah, it's already something for which you need a pretty modern computer. But with these small textures, it shouldn't be that bad. The thing here is, you see there's this like volume texture. What the script will do is you give it a target texture, and it will read the texture from disk and replace the target texture with the actual one it read. Why is this so? For some reasons, if I would be replacing the texture here, it won't really work. So what I need to do is to create a temporary texture to which I will write the one I'm using. So I create a new 3D texture. create custom render texture. No. Or yes. Okay, wait. It's a custom render texture. Why is it not just called render texture? That's some new stuff in the new version, right? And then there's also render texture. So what the hell is the difference? Okay. No, so just new render texture, not a custom one. It will be a 3D texture. We need to specify the size correctly. So it's 80 by 80 by 80. And it has to have the same color format as the textures we are using. So I click here and it says R32 as float. So here from the menu format, you need to find R32 as float. R32 as float. So from assets, create render texture. Give it a name. So I don't know, main volume, for example, and set it to be 80 by 80 by 80, and in R32 as float. This is a format I've chosen while doing the conversion. Well, it's not exactly easy to choose the correct format because not all GPUs support all formats, and not all formats are suitable for the precision of your scientific data. This one is okay, I would say. So texture with size 80 by 80 by 80 and R32 as float format. Then you go to the cube manager and put the volume texture here. In order for the cube manager to work, we also needed the position texture, even if you'll not be using it now. So if in your there was this texture called position, it's 128 by 1. So each pixel represents one position of a single atom, and the type is RGBA32 as float. So I create another texture, another render texture, main atoms, and that should be 128 by 1. It's a 2D texture this time, and the color format was RGB 32 float. So this is R32, G32, B32, A32 as float, this one. I hope. This, and no depth stencil. No, by 1. I just no RGB 32. I should be the same. I hope I have it correct. Because yeah, you see that there's a lot of different texture formats. Yeah, it should be right. Yeah, so. And we need to put this render texture here to the cube manager. So now what the cube manager will do by running, I'll just try if it really is doing that. It should replace, it should, it was off for some reason. Why is it turning itself on, off at this time?
Ops must be power of two, and grids must match height.
Okay, I think I'm forgetting something and I don't, okay, try this. Okay, I'll probably have to fix it. I still not. Data prefix resources texture 3D. It's a prefix. It's ignoring me. Why? Okay. No, not here. Here. Ah, yeah. So now you see, yeah, that the texture here is changing. Okay, so we have to then make some modifications to the script. So open the script, and on line 22, the cube manager script, and on line 22, there's this height in inspector here before this public string dataset prefix. So delete the height in inspector part, because and you can try to put like assets, resources, texture 3D here, but You don't need to just delete the hide inspector, save it, then go to Unity, and in the inspector, you should have this new field called dataset prefix, and we actually need to say assets, resources, texture 3D.
Inspector in streamline.
No, only, I mean,
22 line.
yes. I mean, you can delete in the others as well, but like the important thing is that you delete it on line 22.
What should happen after?
After you do it, then in inspector to dataset prefix, you add this assets resources, and you uncheck this as asset. So this is disabled.
And did you save the change?
Yeah, delete it. Yeah.
That's what name.
No, it doesn't matter, but the important thing is that we delete this one. Yes.
He just hides those options from the inspector.
Yes. Yeah, but they are still saved there if we already.
Yeah, you're highlighting.
Yeah. And here put assets resources.
And what changes should we see?
Wait. I have to test it quickly. Why is it not working?
After we
Okay, there's some. This. So there's some format issue, I would say. So if you run and click on the main volume texture, you see that it's changing, right? But it's somehow not like it's not correct.
Main volume.
No. Wait.
My case, main volume is just a black box.
Wait. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if this helps. No, it does something, but not really what I wanted it to do. This might be some compatibility issue.
Ну так, і що не може у мене нічого не з'явилося. А у мене не з'явилося неправильний розмір, але все одно це не з'явилося. Потім тут дати префікс. Все. А, і все? Почекайте. Якщо клікнути на main volume, воно виглядає як чорний кліп.
Да, правильно. Вы выбираете вы даете адресу от
Але він не відкритий.
Okay, so just at least that you get to the same place as I am. With the Cube Manager, you had this dataset prefix changed. So you have the textures. So now when you hit run,
It's okay if texture is black.
sorry?
Not red, main voluminous is black.
Yes, and it doesn't change when you run.
But we
I mean, yeah.
And it also doesn't appear in the
It probably won't appear here, but no.
Не старайтеся. Може то світло. Тому що це з вулиці.
Це не місце.
Можна?
А ну ще раз.
Вона не французька?
Нічого не
Ні, нехай може. Ці
значно більше, нічого не зміниться. На тебе щось обсудить, або ні.
А ти я зовсім не знаю.
файле main atmosphere еще
Але я не знаю, що далі. Що нам далі?
I mean, this obviously should look like this, right? after we run the script, and I don't know why it does not. Because if I go to the resources folder and look at my files, they look fine. So there's some issue with transferring this to this texture, and maybe it's the issue of the color format, I'm not sure, because the main atoms like this, no, this also doesn't look exactly correct. It should look more like this. So yeah, okay. Yeah. Now my Unity is importing the example project, and this will take several minutes. So I'll fix it during the break. I'll try to fix it during the break. I mean, I really probably just need to open the project on the laptop. It's It's
Why doesn't even the black box appear in the game tab?
okay. I mean, here I put the volume back. No. Yeah, and I cannot. Okay, let's make a break.
Oh, it's transparent.
I'll find out what's wrong when this thing opens actually.
The box made our serious Ага. Ну, так, дальше ну, да. Насправді він нього відновив це, але нічого. Ага. Це тільки обратно не переписати. Сюди, туди і декілька спроб має. Чим довше існувати, тим краще. І зрозуміло, буває так, що якось знизу, так, зняти, щоб всі поверхні були. That girl Anna, I think she also had some troubles. So like I tried to fix as much as possible, but you might need to double check with everyone.
Yeah.
Because there are some random issues here and there. And I will be gone for the next half an hour or so. I will be nearby, but we'll be busy.
Yeah. Mm.
No, це не завтра вчиться. У нас так, передбачення, у нас зараз воркшоп відбувається вивчання реальності помови.
Так ты же тепло. Ну, папа, прикинь, как. Типа сказала, вы какую-то перевести в чате и перевести там я Уже ты не написала?
Слід назву, то паче. Ну, полу потікає, я хочу, щоб він просто біжав екран. Це десь 50. Він дуже не може бути ще не.
Блін, а це ж вони на саме присутні, так?
Він тільки не робить. Але типу, він вже понадобив по нам слідні скажуть, не готове паралельно. Це альбоми їхні.
Клас.
Дуже заряджений чоловік. Я розумію, там не розумію.
А тепер ще й з цими новими якимись веденнями вона більше.
Але твоя не потрібно.
Да, але що пісню можна Коли це не вони зібрали, я не просила. Але чи можна почати таке? А, ні, вони не хочуть перемішати заняття. Це ж правильно.
Нічого. Корисно. Ну, то що так. Не знаю. Подивіться, що це справді цікаво. Ну, грант. Ну, я, до речі, знаходив онлайн сервер. Ну, оце те, що ти збираєшся тягнути. Ага. Ну, видавання можна грати, ну, онлайн можна. Скинутись на Table симулятор, треба просто писати. Майже всі ігри, які мені треба в онлайн, Table симулятор. Ну, може не гірші, але типу надто складні. Тобто там воно може і виглядає як стіл, і все як стіл, але робити все одним шаром, це багато декого не сподіває. Ну, не знаю. Нічого не складно. Ну, просто є онлайн. Ну, і комфорт він. Якщо ігри. Ну, я знаю, що мог не ігри окремі онлайн-версії, але це в стіні, щось є дуже дорого, що нам це часто окремо платити. Ну, але це не ну, тож так. До речі, ж вийшло, здається, Ділом Кімпізі в стіні. Є на неї гроші. Я чув, що він саме не допомогся, як вона організація. Ломася, ну вона робить в стіні, але мені не подобається європейські імперіалістичні минуле.
Okay, I give up. I have absolutely no idea why is it not working, because you see that the texture actually only gets like some maximum and minimum value, so that's it's always either black or full red and nothing in between. That's also then reflected here, so the texture is being changed while being sent there. So you can see that it's flickering, but I either have complete black fur color and a fully visible pixel or a fully invisible pixel. So it's just like between 0 and maximum for some reason. And the reason it's very weird is that if I go to the imported files in the resources, you can see that they look the way they should look. And if you go to the script, you really see that the only thing it is doing is that it will load the file, directly read the file, and okay, no, not here. So doing here. So it opens the file and like literally byte by byte copies the input of the file into the resulting texture. That's like it. So from what's here, the textures should be literally exactly the same byte by byte. And that's how it worked. That's how it should work. And I have absolutely no idea why is it not working now. So maybe that's some really new thing in a new Unity version, which is very weird because this is like some really basic stuff that should just work. So sorry, no animation. I can try looking into it before tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll find something because it, like it really looks like it should work, just doesn't. So let's go back to the so yeah, but I mean you can still use the cube manager at least to import the cube files. That worked because then if I take one of the cube files, one of the imported texture files and put it here as my data, it works. Yeah. So let's keep this thing that is static without the animation but works. And I'll show you another thing. And that's this, how to use the position texture. And when you'll see how to use the position texture, we can move to the multimedia art part, because that's gonna be something similar. So what is a position texture? Yeah, okay. First, just make sure that your program at least runs even without this animation thing. No? Yeah. Doesn't work. I mean, if you already imported it, then okay. Good. Huh? Yeah. I mean, it's doing something, so I'll just leave it. Just that the non-functioning script is not interfering with not giving you errors. You can just disable it because we will not use it at runtime anyway. We only used it to import the files and convert them to the correct texture format. Okay. What's the issue?
It doesn't work. I can yeah. Inside Cube Manager, I cannot. I did this by using new texture 3D, but it's the wrong way.
Yeah, just
I cannot. No, it doesn't work. I cannot.
No. Disable the Cube Manager. Press. Yeah.
Disable.
Go to the volume
Volume.
and drag this down here.
Yeah, this I think I'm done.
Yeah.
And this works.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, this should work now. And it's the equivalent this one, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue with this.
Okay, so I thought we should import main volume of like the volume textures that we imported into.
Yes. Not the render textures we've created, but the original volume textures.
Okay.
Yes. So you again take this and put it directly here. Yeah.
Just some random one event.
Made out of cubes instead of cubes.
Let's check what's the size of the spheres maybe. Okay, so another way to I mean, it's again we will be using textures to get data into our system, but this time wait.
Where should we put it again?
So we have another file here. It's called positions, and it stores the position as a color. That means you take the color and you interpret the color as some abstract vector and set that as a position for your particle. Okay? We can do that in the same graph as before, actually. But we will be creating okay, two options. Either we create a new graph or we create like a second part of a graph in the original graph. And I think we can do just that. Yeah. So if you want to have multiple systems in a single graph, you just start creating those new systems here. Then your graphs can share the input data, for example, or like can interact in other ways. So we'll create a new spawn system with this time the count, the number of particles spawned will be the number of atoms. That corresponds to the size of the position texture, and we know we have 128 atoms, but I will then show you to read that number from the position texture. So we have a certain number of points. So here we create a new context. a spawn context. Here, I create again a single burst spawn. And now I put 128, and a single burst spawn needs to be connected to an event. That's the same thing as was here. Yeah. Single burst spawn and connect it to an event. Got it? No? Then after the spawn, we have to initialize the particle. So there's initialize particle. Capacity can stay at 128, that's okay. And then at the initialization, we won't do anything. What we will do is we immediately create an update particle context. And into update particle, we put set position. I'm wondering why. No, sorry. No. Set position from map. The sample mode can be sequential, yes. So set position from map sequential. So you can either do directly when you're adding the context, the block, set position from map, or you can then put sequential here into sample mode. We should also set some default size. So set size, I think 0.1 at the beginning should be fine. And then we will set the output. So just tell me, everyone, how far are you? Did you do the initialize, empty initialize, the update? Are you in the update? Yeah. So set position from map and set some default size. And finally, we again get mesh output particle, and we can use for the mesh, we will use a sphere. That makes sense for an atom, more or less. Yeah. And for the color map, again, we use the white texture. So you find white 1px. So now what will happen is that this will spawn this 128 particles, but at position 000. And you probably guessed that we need to read the position from a map, and that the map is actually the position texture that we generated using the script. So the same way as we had this variable for the 3D texture, we know that our map is a 2D texture, so we add a texture 2D here to the using plus on the blackboard. Rename it to positions, for example. Texture 2D. And we connect this here. So this new variable, yeah, I just drag and drop it to the graph and connect it here to the attribute map connection point. Sorry? Yes. Yeah. So again, from the top. Connected to attribute map here. What?
Inside the blackboard.
Second what?
Inside the blackboard, when you click on the
Yeah.
thing, yeah, in the position, do you change anything there?
Like here? No. Just keep it exposed and because again, we will connect the right texture from the inspector. So what we do then is we go here and it waits for a position map. And position map. From our resources, I get a volume and the positions.
And what is boxes exactly?
This is the visual effect that we had. Yeah, that's the visual effect graph. We're editing the same graph. Yeah. So.
But it's not volume, it's boxes.
And in my case, volume is the name of the graph asset. Volume. And that graph asset is connected to a game object that is called boxes. And here you see that the visual effect asset is called volume. Yeah.
How do you see the picture? Yeah, it's called volume, right?
Yeah. I mean, your names
yes.
can be different, of course, but and inside that effect, I mean, you already see. Just wait. I'll show everything later. You see that, but I already something happened. My atoms appeared as huge ugly spheres. The huge and ugly you can already fix yourself, since you know how. But the important thing is that they are in the positions where they're supposed to be.
What positions do we do? What do we use as positions? Oh, position structure makes sense.
Okay, so I'll try to put everything somehow. Okay, I probably won't be successful. Wait. I'll try just to put it so that you can see everything in one screen. I don't know if I have enough space for that or if it's too big. Hide the meeting controls and yes. Yeah. I mean, you see that the position Okay. Okay, this is okay. It's a little bit messy, but you should see everything.
I can connect Explorer with
So try to do what's there, and so 2D texture, not 3D.
2D.
Yeah. So delete it and create a new texture 2D. Yes. And now, yes.
3D picture disappeared.
What disappeared?
3D picture. There's only like.
Yeah. Okay. So put your position there.
Yeah, positions.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, let's make the same ones of positions.
So now is there as well. Should be. I mean, should be. It should be correct.
It was the strangest thing.
Where is the scene window?
It was before. It's on that.
Okay.
I should probably go to another.
So now if you run it.
Oh, it worked previously.
And
the string
okay, available. Let's so first. Yeah, disable the cube manager script, such as that it's not giving errors. So, the JSON file versus mixing the JSON file with the yeah, okay, but
No, I mean, maybe we can disable the whole manager. Maybe.
data is still yeah, okay. Okay, but it didn't help us really. Right.
Oh, capacity for some reason
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I changed it. I definitely changed it to 1 million.
Just yeah. Got it?
And I have this graph. But in terms of the recent project that we do after.
So we go down here, and here instead of the particle, with the position.
Я подумаю, что
Yeah.
To просто
horrible, but
Connect position. Yes. Yeah.
тренера підходили, просто що ви не робите якого куба, як ми не зробили проти. Я не знаю, чи там нічого не змінює.
Where was the one? Oh, it's here. Okay. Go closer.
Сетапом Почекай, а що?
Сет альфа, ти направив сет альфа має бути 0,05. А в відкритість а сет альфа 0,5, а потім ще multiply альфа на якесь значення, яке буде себе відкритість, не скинеш програмі.
Count 0 particles there. 228 there. And also check that you have. No, that's okay. Yeah. So try it now. Yeah. So about you. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will go to. I mean, like the excellent thing that it is. Open the object as is the graph. Open your properties. Here into position. Put one of the position files. Yes. And here you need the correct fields. So one of the volume files. I mean, go back there, go back to the graph, and just drop the volume. No, the volume. The 3 has to be here. Back to graph. Back to graph. Yeah. Yes. And now try. I mean, you have it scale. That's because of the Z scale is 12 instead of 3. Yes. In general, you get the idea. Is it working for you?
Yes, somewhat, but I don't know. Could you set it so that we can change alpha because we seem to be regarding some of the connections.
Oh, yeah. No, multiply alpha. Yeah.
I can see there.
I know. Yeah, go back there. You first need to add a new box with space. And multiply alpha.
Треба текстуру позиції. Треба зайти ось в
and connect this output to multiply alpha and not to set alpha. So this is something between 0 and 1, and this is like some basic alpha. So we can set the base alpha and then change the with multiply alpha, move it so that.
But it's different.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll see if it works.
Yes. So basically, now you can also, I don't know, like change color of the spheres. So that like if here, for example, you add, I don't know, set color, you can give your spheres some predefined color. Okay, that's not really a color, I would say. And you can also give them alpha. And just like you can play with the visuals here in the system as you wish. Yeah, so now I have, okay, I can also make them a little bit small. Oh, okay, no, I just keep them as they are. So your result should look something like this. And we should end at 3, right? I don't know how much we get into the okay, let's try to continue. Or I mean, like, for you all have the Polycam scans already. So let's try to quickly get to the point where you can import the Polycam scans, and then we can play with the fancy effects tomorrow. Yeah, because the Polycam scans will also give you 2 textures, a position texture and a color texture. So we can basically use the part of the graph we use now to also read the Polycam scans.
Could you also show how we can import the scans downloaded from the website in some GDB format?
Yes, but you will need a different one. So you will need to get yours. You will need to. Okay, so what will I use today? I'll get young Shevchenko, and I will import him in PLY format. So you go download PLY as a PLY point cloud. Yeah.
So I should log in in order to be able to download in such format.
I mean, it should be possible from the phone as well, but then you need to somehow get it to your computer, like through Telegram or something, like whatever. But I will share this download with you so that you can use it now if you don't have your own, and then you can download the other one at home if you're bored tonight or tomorrow on the other workshop. So let's switch to the interactive 3D art. And oh, this was the AFU cross, so this will be. You can get the PLY file directly here. So PLY file, cool, but unfortunately not direct. We cannot open it directly in Unity. What we need to open it is a plugin. So PLY file Unity package. That's not the one. That's also not the one. I'm so slow today. K0 is the name. Right. So what we're looking for is this K0 PCX package. So K0 PCX should take you to GitHub.
PLY format, yeah?
Yes, PLY.
If it's locked by
I'll send you the link here as well.
Yes. So all of them except the JDB format are for Pro version.
Yes, but you should have the Pro version in Ukraine for free.
I registered with you.
No, that's not possible. On the phone. Yes, because they so that people don't abuse it. I think they use like geofencing. So you actually have to be in Ukraine in order to, and it can check from the computer.
I think you said it, you could register with your phone, Ukrainian. Yeah.
Yes, but also
I didn't.
I mean, you have a scan there or not?
Yeah, I have a
Yeah, so click on it. Export. Spy.
Yes,
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Got it?
I understand where my screens.
Yeah. Like I said, you need to do it from the phone because the. No, you already did that.
I should know because they.
У мене телефон. Так, я так не тягну. Вау.
Or you can use the shape changer from the toy. But you will then need to download it in the PLY format. Like the same format for the export from.
Я собі посвячую просидів, але воно всі.
Got it? Yeah. Got it? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'll get to it right now. Okay, so yes, if you want to use the Pro version for free, you need to use your phone. Yeah, because then people would online pretend that they are Ukrainians and use Polycam for free, even if they're not here. So this is another way of getting packages to Unity. What we've seen yesterday, or which day it was that we've seen how to import from the asset store. So you go to the asset store, import the package to your assets, then it appears here in the package manager inside my assets. Yeah, should appear there. But not all packages are on the asset store. Some packages are outside of the asset store. For example, distributed on GitHub, etc. Sometimes you can download the package as a package file. This is not the case here. In this case, this developer Kjiro, who by the way has hundreds of super cool Unity packages, specifically a lot of them are targeted to the VFX graph, but like a lot of interesting multimedia stuff, like combining VFX graph with sounds and MIDI instruments, and yeah, like he's really cool. And he has his own package registry, which you need to add to Unity if you want to use it. And then in that registry, you find his package. Now, there are two ways to add a new registry. The first way is to, as is described here, is to go to the packages file, find the manifest.json file, and modify it according to the instructions here. The other way is to do it from Unity. And I'll show you the Unity way because, like, I mean, if you follow the instructions, it will work, of course. But so you want to add a scoped registry with this name and this address, and that can be done from project settings or maybe preferences. Let's say project settings. Registry. No. Yes, yeah. So go to Edit, Project Settings, and then find Package Manager here. And you see that there's this list of scoped registries, and you can add a new scoped registry, which needs a name, address, and a scope. So you just copy, paste the stuff from name, URL, and scope, URL and scope.
Oh.
You just like do it like this. Just a single scope, and press save. And it will download the list of packages available in this scope. So in Edit Project Settings, find Package Manager, and add this K0 scoped registry. Got it, everyone? Yes, no, yes, no. Yes. Almost. Yes.
I'm just deleting stuff.
So when you edit the scoped registry to the list of registries, then you open the package manager in Window Package Manager. And here in Packages, instead of My Assets, you find My Registries. And you should see this Keijiro Takahashi registry with a lot of stuff. And you find PCX and install PCX. And that will give you the PLY importer plugin. Yeah. So again, you go to Window Package Manager. Here at the top, in Packages, you select My Registries. And then you find PCX and install PCX. Yeah? No? Yes, no?
No,
Where are you now? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Window, Package Manager. Package Manager. Here at the top. Yes, packages, click.
І вписуєш там
My
дані,
registries.
які в GitHub написані.
And find PCX and install.
GitHub.
So,
Що додати? Цього,
Yes, PCX.
Sovereign.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
Так от ти... Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to...
Here, install. Perfect.
Оце.
Yeah.
Оці. Ладно.
Copy line by line. So go to GitHub. Just get K0. Just what's inside the quotes. No. Just this. Only K0. Yeah, it's like this. Yeah. I mean, the name is not important, of course, but yeah, and yeah, that go to Unity, put it in name. Yeah. Yes, like this.
Also, my alpha with the groups didn't work.
Okay, we'll get it later. But it worked before, right?
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
After I reloaded the Unity, regardless of which alpha I set, it's not.
Now go to Window Package Manager, and at the top select in Packages. Yeah, click on no. So packages. Yeah, My Registries, yes, and down, and you find PCX, yes, and install. And after you install the PCX importer, you find your PLY file And again, you can drag and drop it into your assets. And there are many ways to get it in the scene. The easiest is to drag and drop it. Okay. You will notice if you did what I did, that you drag and drop the, okay. If you just drag and drop the object to your scene, then you will notice that when in the game you get close to it,
Yeah.
when you get close to it, it kind of like starts sort of disappearing because you can see the points that is made of. Those points are like the actual real data that the Polycam app scanned. And there are other ways how to import it, not from the PLY file, but you can try some other format of export, like the OBJ format, for example, and then it will be a solid mesh without those dots. But we will actually use the dots later because we will read this in the visual graph file the same way as we were visualizing the particles. So we'll read the positions from the PLY file, and then we can apply effects on it. And yeah, I think that we will do tomorrow probably. So let's get here. So we do that, and yeah, you have your plan to see. Okay, good. No,
I have a question related to script. I tried to import my own data and it's just failed.
Yeah.
So
Control A.
makes sense.
Okay.
So it's it just stuck. It's quite a big file, 26 megabytes. Let's maybe if I like delete all the previous files.
Yeah, to try that first. Delete the old files and then try the import.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you know what? I think problematic because
Скільки таких завантажити за просуванням і використання?
А скільки треба того так?
Я не знаю. Я, наприклад, знайшов це Gundam, але тут написано у нас є файли з Gundam, подумаю, що я не патріот, а ну, типу він Z, але з Злотинського Z. Але моделька крута, його вчора не було, його кілька годин тому.
До 10, я в принципі готовий.
Ну, у мене стільки немає. Просто в мене є перелік кандидатів, і з них я знайшов. Так. GitHub більше не знайдеться. Давай тобі зараз просто навішлю ті посилок. Посилання. Так, ще один.
Куди ти буде закинути?
В Телеграм просто зараз перечку там, де я розмотав. Ну і потім видаляю, бо годіла щось 150 мегабайтів.
Ну, зашибись, я понял.
Вона доволі деталізована. Наскільки вийде її зробити там висотою 200 метрів.
Yeah, like,
Okay, so
like, the first 3D model was the best.
okay.
It's kind of like
Yes, you know, I think we might try something with a different color beneath it because
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Sorry, how can I share the Polycam scan so that you can open it on his phone?
Yeah,
I just copied
basically,
the link, it doesn't work.
I opened the link and it just opens. If someone else can try to open it.
you should and is it published or
It's published,
Yes,
it's
published,
through
okay.
exploration. The website.
I sent it to.
You know what you can do? You can go to.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you can add.
Myself.
So.
Давай я типу знаходжу.
What you can
Зайду з
do
телефону.
is.
Just
okay.
search for them by their name.
It doesn't work for me either. What the hell?
I think
So
we
what you
just
can do.
Search by name and then.
Я побачив. Висні телеграфа, і все одно.
Та не треба мені твій телеграм,
Так,
через Polycam.
Такі.
Так, де тут? Explore, and then search.
I don't know. It works. Somehow it works if I open it from if I open the link on the PC. You know what you can do if you can open the link from the computer, then here I don't know. You can save capture. Hey, You can open it on the computer and do either save capture or like. And if you save it,
How do I save it from the phone?
I don't know.
I'll just look at it from here. I think it should be.
But then from your profile, you can go to likes if you just like it on the phone. You can click like on the phone, and then if you go to likes, you will find it there in the likes. No. Then how?
A тут немає. На цій статуї немає кнопки завантаження. So we can't, one of the statues we cannot download. There is literally no button for it, even from the PC.
Okay, save.
I need it.
So on the PC, click on save.
Yes, but for this guy, there is no to save. What? It's a cool statement on the box. Somewhere here, one volume system. I forgot the name of the regions.
Okay, you cannot save this. Okay.
The second.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe there's like some new privacy features I don't know about all of them. So. This has nice contrast. I will try.
Так круто, так правильно, так і має бути.
An idea, but I it will work. I will better or
Original model was like this, the collection of parts, but well, part of the stem.
okay.
Зараз базован там всі ці речі, вони не дуже
I cannot start Polycam.
насправді звичайно ні.
I cannot start Polycam suddenly. I don't know why.
О, правильно.
Я крутилась і міняла.
Але так уже можна.
But try the
Тоді вже вкладають мобайл світу і не підписують назви, пишуть типу рендам, наче при цьому доступно. Де тут треба поговорити? Ага, в нього звантаження, я вже його не пам'ятаю.
if you don't have the phone calls, simply. Yeah.
Так, это перегавший.
Like here, this is just
Polycam
line on one side, so it's very safe.
А, може воно тобі їх просто відмінило. Є в папку.
You say that you actually a duplicate of it. Ось. От тепер все. Так, а можна їх якось одночасно кілька інтерпретувати? О, можна.
Using the automatic animals, always stopping frequency from now, when they show to say, and the object not all of us are using the object not themselves, and it's
Тут же сигнал якийсь комп'ютер.
Okay, more questions?
Regarding that alpha, perhaps
Oh, yeah, that's
volume. Also, is already set.
okay. It will be like this. Still not linear space. Issue. So now. Yeah. Okay, so now make the alpha higher.
Just in case, they would need to start in 15 minutes, so we have like 10 minutes.
What?
You have like 10 minutes to finish now because
We're finished.
you're already finished.
Yeah.
Because they will start. That's like that part that I was telling you that it was unplanned.
Yes, it's okay.
So the ghost cube is here, but there is only one sphere, and I'm pretty sure I have said his manager.
No, the two
Where is it?
No, the volume. Yes, to position, you need to get it. Wow. Okay.
I'm sure I've said 128 particles.
Yes, but you didn't have the map connected here. Maybe if your Unity died after you've edited, I didn't say the scene. The position map wasn't connected to the graph. The texture wasn't.
It's loads faster.
So volume. And here at position, yes.
Position.
Find one of the position textures. Developer position. No, not volume, position. Yeah, one of them.
why is this the case? What does the position? Ah, so they were all at 0, 0, like you told.
Yes. So
Just a little.
Which one?
What's the very strict?
okay, that's cool.
Ну, насправді це ж не
So,
треба робити.
Тому що, ну, if you
Вони ж там
If you
збережені.
get something
ну,
great
давай, експорт, давай,
with some little text,
вау, нічого не
then
відбувається.
because
Дякую.
this is difficult because
Ну, типу, з моїм це
it's too
цікаво.
shiny.
Давай поєднуємо.
Давай
пояснимо.
Це нічого, у вас там дуже якісна картинка.
And you cannot force Polycam like
Абсолютно.
Обери на інше.
those runters. I mean, you could you could reprocess the file and review like see all the pictures that are there and delete the ones that are giving trouble. Then you cannot go them back. And also you never really know which are the couple. You can just like guess. So, but if you can get some like gray piece of cloth or something,
Так, я в нього
or like really dark gray so that it doesn't reflect too much, then
Шевченко також працює.
then at least like it won't get the wrong shade, even if maybe like the lighting won't be exactly right, but I think it should be good enough.
Або ви
Ми виглядимо просто зумову розповідати.
And we can use the lights from both sides. From the window. Okay, right now.
Окей.
Meanwhile, we can already use this model for like, yeah. I mean, like I said, if you're bored in the evening, you can get this model in and play with it, and tomorrow we just replace the model with a new, better scan.
Actually, it also come with 12.
Yes. 12, and we should finish at like, we'll be here till the evening, so like let's say till 7, but of course you can leave earlier if you don't want to stay for the whole time, and yeah, and we will play with those scans. Oh, and yeah.
Tomorrow.
Вон, бачиш,
Yes.
вона не відкривається. Вона велика мабуть.
Also, import still doesn't work.
What
My import still doesn't work, and it just basically
What is it doing?
it creates this folder in resources and just produce.
Okay, send me a file.
Okay.
How big is it?
30 big, 29 megabytes.
I mean, if it were 20 gigabytes, I would say, okay, that may be an issue, but 30 gigabytes, right? Send it to me. I'll look. I'll have a look.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you tomorrow.